This is a BMW 318 E36. I think something like that. Red. It's got 4 wheels, 0 to 100 in about 12 seconds from the factory. Nowadays, 25 minutes. It's got a sunroof. It's got a 1.6 litre engine. That's about it so far. Now, what am I going to do with it? So completely stock, these things put out about 130, 35 horsepower. Really not much for drifting, but the thing is, what I'm going to do with it, at least at the start, is... So what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to rip everything out of the interior. So that means all the hood lining, all the factory seats, carpet, as much dash as I need. I don't know if I'm going to keep my radio, so that also means all my speakers and everything is coming out. Yeah, so stock, these things have about 1400 kilos, so hopefully by ripping out all of this, all the stuff I don't need like this, seat belts, yeah, carpet, I might leave the sunroof, we'll see. Hopefully that will be enough weight out of it. As you can see, it's been pretty well looked after. I mean, look at this. Has pretty much every tool, but of course you can't expect that they'll still have the 10mm. That's like a given, that's never going to be there. So it's pretty well looked after. Pretty clean on the inside. Well, it won't be for long. That's what you got inside. So as far as I know, it's a 1.6 litre thingo. It's an engine. Yep. Now I've done a bit of testing today. It's got a few little kind of problems going on. What it's got currently is it's sat for 2 years, so the fuel that's inside it has gone pretty old. And I mean, it might almost been in there beforehand. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm probably going to have to drain the fuel out of it, just to put in some nice stuff, because at the moment when it's running, it's very sputtery and barely holds on. Like, I've had it idle for about 4 or 5 minutes, it's been fine, but then another time I've done it and it's idled for like 30 seconds and it's died. So yeah, so got to drain fuel out of that, hopefully put new fuel and it will run fine. Otherwise we're gonna have to do some cleaning of all the fuel parts. I know, engines. Then after that, another thing I've noticed is it's pretty common on these is your cooling system doesn't really run that well, and especially when the car gets older, the cooling's usually the first thing to start having problems. At least what I've noticed on this is I've had a few air bubbles, so it's gained the heat, but now that I've been able to kind of get rid of the bubbles and replace it, it seems to be doing all right, but I want to give it a proper test later on, which is not as much of a big problem as the fuel problem. So at least if I can fix that, then we're good. We're good to start, because that's it. Currently at the moment, I've taken this for a few little drives up the road and down, and basically I've been able to do speed limit fine, but anytime I go to like floor it, that's when it starts sputtering. So pretty common. It's pretty sound that it's going to be the the fuel. Otherwise, it could be like injectors or other fuel things that car people will know that I don't know, because I don't really know cars. But I've got one now, so we're gonna learn. So this is gonna be a big project, and if you're along for the ride, do it. Oop. This is going to be a big project, so if any of this sounds interesting to you, please subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out as much videos as I can on this and trying to prove the fact that can an auto drift. I believe it can to an extent, not amazingly. It's going to be enough to maybe do a burnout, a donut, and maybe link two corners. But how about we find out? So join me, give it a subscribe, and goodbye.